All this weekend, including Wednesday during the president's address, we expect to get more information from the White House about President Obama's plan to combat ISIS. The president has also now issued a War Powers Act to help explain and define recent military action in Iraq to combat ISIS there in that nation. President Obama specifically addresses targeted airstrikes that took place last month and this month in Mosul and near the Haditha Dam. The War Powers Act gives the commander-in-chief the option to use military force without congressional approval in certain cases, but he is required to notify Congress, and this letter is part of the process. In the letter, President Obama says he appreciates the support of Congress for recent actions. We should also learn a little bit more when the president again addresses the nation this week. His speech is supposed to lay out a clear strategy for the American people and Congress to deal with the growing international crisis of Islamic militants. The New York Times also reporting today that strategy may take up to 3 years to complete. Yesterday on Meet the Press, the president laid out some of those plans. It included building a broad international coalition, including Arab nations. The president says his upcoming speech will also give the American people and their representatives in D.C. clearer objectives.
This speech will allow Congress, I think, to understand very clearly and very specifically what it is that we are doing, but also what we're not doing. We're not looking at sending in 100,000 American troops.
Well, in just 10 days, Scottish voters will decide to split from the UK or not, may form their own independent country. Leaders from opposing camps continue to campaign around that country. But a dramatic shift in polling over the weekend shows the separatists now leading the pro-union crowd by 2 percentage points. Scottish independence concerns has already started to drag down the value of the British pound versus the U.S. dollar. And fighting has also resumed in Ukraine just 2 days after pro-Russian separatists and the Ukrainian government signed a ceasefire deal. A series of shellings in Mariupol killed a woman on Saturday. Also, explosions were reported in Donetsk on Sunday. The U.S. and Ukrainian navies will also conduct joint operations later this week, despite objections from Moscow. And the issue of race is forcing another NBA owner to sell his franchise. This time it's the owner of the Atlanta Hawks. He says his decision is based on an email sent 2 years ago. Bruce Levinson wrote that black fans may be scaring away white fans, and there are not enough affluent African Americans in Atlanta to build a significant season ticket base. He has since issued a statement and apologized for his comments. Levinson follows Clippers owner Donald Sterling, who was forced to sell his team after a secretly recorded racially charged rant became public. And in California, flash flooding may worsen today as the region feels the effects of Tropical Storm Norbert. Those floods damaged buildings, left cars underwater, and stranded unsuspected people in their homes. Norbert, located about 200 miles off the coast of Mexico, was downgraded from a hurricane over the weekend. Weather officials expect the storm to weaken in the coming days.